Hello students, this is your social science teacher INR. I hope you are well and utilizing the time wisely. In the previous class, you learned about the meaning of development and indicators of economic development. Today, you are going to learn about sustainability of development, policies for sustainable development and environmental policies in India. Please watch this video very carefully till the end. I am going to ask you a few questions from previous class. Question number 1. What do you mean by development? Question number 2. What are the indicators of economic development? Question number 3. What is human resources? Okay, answer for the question. Question number 1. What do you mean by development? Development refers to the progress of a particular field or a particular person. Question number 2. What are the indicators of economic development? The major indicators to measure the level of economic development are Net National Product (NNP), Per Capita Income (PCI), Purchasing Power Parity (PPP), and Human Development Index (HDI). Question number 3. What is human resources? The term human resources refers to the collective abilities of people which can be utilized in the production sector. Fine. Let us enter into the concept. Please take the page number 287. First topic, sustainability of development. Sustainable economic development is taken to mean development without damaging the environment and not compromising with the needs of the future generation. In short, sustainable economic growth is economic development that attempts to satisfy the needs of humans, but in a manner that sustains natural resources and the environment for future generation. Sustainability of development is comparatively a new area of knowledge in which scientists, economists, philosophers, and other social scientists are working together. Energy is an inevitable resource in our day-to-day life. It is an essential component in economical and technical development. Coal, petroleum, natural gas, solar energy, and wind energy are some of the source of energy. Energy resources can be classified into non-renewable and renewable energy resources. Natural resources can be divided into renewable resources and non-renewable resources. Renewable resources are replenishable or renewed. Examples: solar energy. Or renewable resources that can be regenerated in a given span of time. Non-renewable resources are non-replenishable or non-renewed. Examples: coal, petroleum. In other words, non-renewable resources that cannot be regenerated. The question arises as to how sustainable development is possible if the resources are overused rather than getting replenished. Non-renewable resources get exhausted, or to finish something at a certain number of years or extracting and using them, and they cannot be replenished. To achieve real sustainability, we need to balance economic, social, and environmental sustainability in equal harmony. In other words, to achieve real sustainability, we need to balance economic, social, environmental sustainability in equal of peaceful existence together. In general, the question of development or progress in continuous at all times. As the member of society and as individuals, we need to ask where we want to go, what we wish to become, and what our goals are. Student, please take the page number 288. See the table. This table shows demographic trends or parameters in India. There are three parameters was given in the table. First parameter, literacy rate. Second, sex ratio. Third, enrollment in higher education. So first, literacy rate. What is meant by literacy rate? It refers to the number of literates as a percentage of the total population. This table explains the literacy rate in India in the year 2011 census. Andhra Pradesh literacy rate 67.02 percentage, 75.36 percentage in Karnataka, 94 percentage in Kerala, 78.03 percentage in Gujarat, 69.72 percentage in Uttar Pradesh. Tamil Nadu literacy rate 80.09 percentage. Overall literacy rate in India 74.04 percentage. Second parameters, sex ratio. What is meant by sex ratio? It refers to the number of females per 1000 males. Kerala has the highest sex ratio 1084, followed by Tamil Nadu 996, Andhra Pradesh 993, Karnataka 973, Gujarat 919 and Uttar Pradesh 912. Third parameters, enrollment in higher education in the year 2015 up to 16. Tamil Nadu enrollment in higher education nearly 43.3 percentage, followed by 30.8 percentage in Andhra Pradesh and Kerala, then 26.1 percentage in Karnataka, then 24.5 percentage in Uttar Pradesh, then 20.7 percentage in Gujarat. Overall enrollment in higher education in India nearly 24.5 percentage. This data was given by Niti Aayog. Explanation of Niti Aayog. The Planning Commission has been replaced by the Niti Aayog on 1st January 2015. Niti means National Institution for Transforming India. Niti Aayog will monitor, coordinate and ensure implementation of the accepted Sustainable Development Goals. Niti Aayog serves as a knowledge hub and monitors progress in the implementations of policies and programs of the Government of India. Next, what are the differences or comparison between renewable resources and non-renewable resources? Students, see the page number 288, renewable resources. Renewable resources are replenishable resources or pollution free and environmental friendly. These resources takes a short time for renewable. Example, solar energy, wind energy, water, wood and paper. Non-renewable resources. Non-renewable resources are non-replenishable resources, pollute and damage the environments. Millions of years are needed for the formation of these resources. Examples, metals, glass, fossil fuel like coal, petroleum, natural gas, diesel, etc. Second topic, policies for sustainable development. Take the page number 288, left side. Use of non-conventional sources of energy. India depends on thermal and hydropower plants to meet its power needs. Both these sources have an adverse environmental impact. Thermal power plants emit large quantities of carbon dioxide which pollute the environments. Next topic, solar power in India. Please take the page number 289, solar power in India. Solar power is the conversion of energy from sunlight into electricity either directly using photovoltaic cells or indirectly using concentrated solar power. Solar panels absorb the sunlight as a source of energy to generate electricity. A solar electric system can reliably produce electricity for our home and offices. These distributed solar systems are often installed by home and business owners to reduce their electricity cost. Solar power in India is a fast developing industry. Tamil Nadu is the state with the highest installed solar capacity in India. Tamil Nadu is one of the leading solar power producing states in India. As on 31st July 2017, the total installed capacity in Tamil Nadu is 1697 megawatts. Last topics. Environmental policies in India. Take the page number 289. Environmental policies in India have been evolved considerably over the past 3 decades or 30 years. These policies have covered a wide range of issues such as air, water pollution, waste management, and biodiversity conservation. India faces challenges in economic development, which has to be achieved with limited resources, minimum externalities, and in the presence of an uncertain climate. One of the approaches to overcome these challenges is through the path of sustainable development. The Supreme Court of India has interpreted and introduced new changes in environmental protection through a series of direction and judgments. Article 51A(g) of the Constitution states that it shall be the duty of every citizen of India to protect and improve the natural environment, including forest, lakes, rivers, and wildlife, and the have compassion of living creatures. Development increases the quality of life. This means that people will have higher incomes, better education, better health and nutrition, less poverty, and more equality of opportunities. We know that nature provides us all resources to satisfy our basic needs, but we tend to overexploit it. If we go on exploiting the nature, there will be no more resources available in future. There is an urgent need to conserve or protect the nature. Some of the environmental acts in India. Please see the page number 289. This table shows some environmental acts in India. So first act, National Green Tribunal Act 2010. This act main motive is environmental protection and conservation of forest and other natural resources. Second act in India, Biological Diversity Act 2002. This act main aim is to provide for conservation of biological diversity. Third act, the Environmental Protection Act 1986. Main action is providing for the protection and improvements of the environment. Fourth act, Forest Conservation Act 1980. This act main aim is check deforestation and encourage afforestation of non-forest areas. Fifth one, Water Prevention and Control of Pollution Act 1974. This act main objective is provides maintenance and restoration and quality of all types of surface and groundwater. Last Environment Act in India, Wildlife Protection Act 1972. This act main motive is providing protection to wild animals and birds. Students, please take the page number 290. The growth story of Tamil Nadu. Tamil Nadu is one of the states having achieved rapid progress which a relatively short period, despite it started from appalling or shocking levels of poverty, deprivation and inequality or imbalances. Okay, what is meant by poverty? The word poverty refers to the inability to attain a minimum standard of living. Next, deprivation. Deprivation means the lack of something considered to be a necessity. Next paragraph. During the short period, Tamil Nadu, much to the consternation of many economists, initiated bold social programs such as universal midday meals in primary school and started putting in place on extensive social infrastructure, schools, health centers, roads, public transport, water supply, electricity connections, and much more. Today, Tamil Nadu has some of the best public services among all Indian states, and many of them are accessible to all on a non-discriminatory basis. Last but not least, there is no evidence that the cultivations of human capability has been at the cost of conventional economic success such as fast economic growth. Tamil Nadu have some of the highest per capita income and lowest poverty rate among all Indian states. Economic growth, in turn, has enabled these states to sustain and consolidate active social policies. This is an important example of complementary between economic growth and public support. This data was given by Nobel laureate Professor Amartya Kumar Sen. That's all for today. We will continue in the next class. Finish the assignment by clicking the link below. Thank you very much, student.